Dean, I can hear you.
I can't hear. Oh, no, I did for a second.
I think we're going to be messing with these things again. I can hear Dean. I can hear Dean.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can? All right, good.
You are live. You're live. Just so you know. Great.
All
Here
right.
we are.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. Here we are, getting all set up in
Getting all the technology set up, Dean, as we're mobile on the road at Versailles High School at HB Whole Field here in Versailles, Ohio. Mercer County, Dark County, I believe. About an hour and a half north of CHCA.
Yeah, so it's football weather here. It's chilly tonight. We're probably going to we'll get an official temperature here in a second, but it feels like we're late fall. We've been saying all along it doesn't seem like it's time for playoff football yet, but with a 45-degree temperature feeling like 40, it seems like it's time for playoff football. So, Chad, we're excited for this one as the Eagles take on the Versailles Tigers. The Eagles actually are underdogs tonight. It's a 4 seed against a 5 seed, so we had to go on the road. Talk to us a little bit about what we're going to expect out of this matchup tonight.
Well, I tell you what, this is the Versailles Tigers are out of the MAC conference, which if you know high school football, that's the SEC of the mid to small school football conferences in the state of Ohio. That's the home of the Marion Local Flyers, the Coldwater Cavaliers, who we are unfortunately very familiar with. And so Versailles is a team that has competed very well over the last few years. They bring a strong running game with the ability to be variable if their running attack doesn't work. Looks like they're disciplined. They've got some big beef up front. They're going to run downhill with a bunch of leads, some traps, some counters, and it's going to be really up to CHCA's defense to hold firm, which Casey Woods and his crew have got a fantastic defense this year, and we held Madeira last week to 6 points and kept them out of the end zone, but tonight's going to be a whole different kind of a challenge, Dean.
Yeah, it's interesting when we think of these kind of small town rural Ohio football teams, you expect smash mouth, big guys up front running the football up the gut, but watching some film this week, they are also not afraid to put the ball up top. They look like they even had a bit of a deep passing game, so this Eagle defense is going to have to be ready on both fronts.
That's absolutely true. And when you play when you play in the MAC conference and you play against, Anna is another team. They're the defending Division 6 state champion. Marion Local beat New Miami last night in Division 7 like 48-0, and I don't even think it was that close. Marion Local, I think, has 9 state titles in the last 15 years in small school football. So when you play in a conference that you can get beat in multiple ways, you have to also alter your offensive identity. And so Versailles has done a really good job this year of running the ball, as I said, and they're formidable on film, but they also have the ability to put it up. It's not like some of the teams that we've played historically where if they're a pound to the ground team, that's all they can do. No, they're very multifaceted, so it's going to be a really big challenge and really fun to see how Coach Woods attacks tonight.
The other thing that we're going to have to keep an eye out for is that Versailles, like CHCA, got to bye the first round, and then last week they advanced due to COVID outbreak in the school that was to play. So they are looking at coming off 2 weeks off of playing football. So again, on the one hand, you could look at that and say they're well rested. On the other, this could be a team with a little bit of rust, kind of like watching the first game of a season. What do you think we'll see out of this Versailles team?
Well, that is a great point. The other things with that is that it's been an abbreviated regular season, so it's not like they had a 10-game season with the bumps and bruises that come with that, and then a needed 2-week bye. They really had 6 games and then 2 weeks off. So I don't know what to expect tonight. Usually, a team of the caliber of Versailles coming from the MAC conference, they're tested. I would anticipate that they come out and run the ball, and if CHCA stops it, that's when we're going to see if the rust is there, because really running the football is just about a little bit of assignments and toughness and physicality, and physicality travels, my friend. So it doesn't matter whether they had a couple weeks off. So I would not anticipate that to be a huge deal, but talk to me if we're in the middle of the second quarter and CHCA's shut down the run game and now they have to go back to the passing game and a little bit of the cold. And I think that's going to be my big concern as we talk about CHCA. You know, it's wide open. We do run the ball a bit, but it's more throwing the football downfield. Colin Ames throwing to those outstanding wide receivers. We have not played this year in inclement weather, and I would say the weather tonight, although it's a beautiful evening, it is crisp. It is chilly. It is a little bit biting on the hands if you stand out here a little bit. So how's that going to impact the passing game of CHCA as the Eagles are emerging from the Hetrick Fieldhouse? Wonderful facility here at Versailles. The stadium is not at the school. It is in the middle of a residential neighborhood, and it is a wonderful facility here. So I'm ready for some high school football.
I am too. It is a great atmosphere. Limited people in the stadiums as we've experienced all year long, but the way this place sits right in the middle of a neighborhood, you have people sitting in houses watching the game on their porches. We are actually in the visitor stands because of the way the press box was constructed. We couldn't get you a clear picture on the camera, so we are in the second last row of the visitor bleachers, and we're about 10 feet from the sidewalk. And if we'll just give you a little peek of the place, you can see grass field very close to the stand, so we are right in the action. That'll affect the views a little bit that we can show you, but we'll try to be versatile with the camera. And also, because we have a limited crew here tonight, it's going to be Chad and I bringing it to you ourselves, but we've lost our typical camera person who is traveling. So we will see if we can talk and chew gum at the same time and bring you some decent shots as well. I don't know if we'll be able to bring you all the great close-ups of players coming off the field as our colleague has done in some of the early games, but we'll try to get you as good of a video feed as we can for this one. So we are a couple minutes away from the start of this one, and the Versailles team is about to come out. We'll just to give you the setting. You can see part of the neighborhood right behind the field. And there's the field house.
As we wait here, Dean, to see the arrival of the Versailles Tigers, I did want to point out quickly that what a wonderful job Coach Woods has done this year. We've been on this broadcast, and it's really hard to tell this team of a difference from the teams that were under Coach Taylor and under the teams of Coach Mueller, and now under Coach Woods. They have the same identity. The program is in great hands. So I just wanted to, before this game starts, win or lose, congratulate Coach Woods. You got to remember, Casey took over this job, was hired, and then the world fell apart. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but there's been a global pandemic here in 2020 that has wreaked havoc across every fiber of life. And Coach Woods was living in Indiana when all of this hit, trying to sell his house, getting up here, meeting all the kids, getting his feet wet with this program, hiring a coaching staff, getting these kids ready to play. Are we going to have a season? Aren't we going to have a season? And the fact that we're here playing against a MAC school in the playoffs is exactly where CHCA should be, is exactly where CHCA has been, and it appears it's exactly where we're going to be. So tip of the hat to Coach Woods. It has not been an easy season. It is not for anybody, but specifically taking over a program, a prideful program such as ours, with expectations of success. And so, all things considered, this has been a wildly successful season for the CHCA Eagles, and Coach Woods has been a great man to lead during this time. So I just wanted to give a tip of the hat before we get into the X's and O's and breaking down the games and all of that stuff. But just what a wonderful job. I love the fact that we're sitting here tonight and that we got to beat Madeira in the playoffs. That's always a plus.
And anytime there's a transition, there's question marks that come with it. But clearly, now, third week of the playoffs, Eagle football tradition is live and well and ready for maybe even greater success than we've ever seen here before. And again, with everything else going on, just to kind of fill you in if you're not part of the Eagle family around campus lately, Coach Woods, besides all the things you have to think about going on the road during COVID times to playing playoff football against a tough rival, had his own difficult end of the week as his sweet little daughter, who we all love watching on the sidelines, had an accident the other night with a broken arm that had to be fixed at Children's Hospital. That was at the end of the week. They have been in our thoughts and prayers, and she is doing well. So for those who've been praying, just wanted to give an update. She is recovering. I don't think here with us, of course, but hopefully they're watching. Love, thoughts, and prayers go out to her. And we're ready for some football here.
Here we go, Dean.
All right, so the Tigers will be kicking to the Eagles from left to right, and here we go. End over end kick, and that's going to be caught by Brady Hunt on the short hop. He's going to pick it up at the 10. He's going to take it to the middle of the field. He's got some running room. He's going to take that out across the 25, and the Eagles will start there. 1st and 10, just across the 25.
Well, the first thing I've learned here, Dean, is trying to call the game and follow the action and do the camera is going to be a little challenging. So I ask for some grace from our followers tonight, as we, especially as we get started. But good start for the Eagles out across the 25-yard line, and let's see how Coach Woods and team plan to attack this Versailles Tiger defense.
All right, so whistles blow before we can get started. There may be some blood or some kind of a...
They're going to say, we ran into this with our teams at the middle school. If your knees aren't covered with knee pads, you cannot participate. So it looks like that is...
so Crosley comes off the field. They're going to put in Adam Bauer. So trips right. That's going to be Bauer, Jostworth, and Sakai. Sokil alone on the left. Backfield, they're going to hand the ball off to Manny. Manny's going to look for a hole. Not much there. I think he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, that's a trying to figure out. The first this is the first meeting between Versailles and CHCA. So CHCA is going to try to poke and prod and see where the weak point is on the defense. I know they've had the week of film study, but it's a lot different when you start seeing the big boys up front.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't have a roster, so I can't tell you the size and weight of big number 77 right in the middle. That's a good size defensive line. All right, back to the line, same formation, play action to Manny. Colin looking, throws over the middle, but that ball's intercepted back at the 48 of Versailles, overthrew his receiver. I think it was Sokil across the middle, and that's going to give them good field position to start out.
Yeah, that is that is not a great start. Colin went back, had some time, had the receiver. He was covered, but a good throw would have had him and sailed it a little bit. And you know what? You see that sometimes in first playoff starts for quarterbacks making their first start, especially as underdogs on the road, where you get a little bit juiced up, and when you're excited, the ball tends to sail a little bit, and I think that's just what we saw.
All right, they're going to come out in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers left, single right. It's going to actually have the 2 backs, the full back up front. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off straight up the middle and plows forward to the Eagle 46. That's going to be a gain of about, we'll call it 5.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen here is Versailles. They have a really well-coached offensive line. You can tell that they're a pretty good football team by the way their offensive line fires off the football. Nobody stands up. They're all low. They're all plowing forward, and they're going to try to move that line of scrimmage.
All right, back to the line. Same formation, 2 receivers left, single right. This time the quarterback's going to keep it, and he's got some running room. He's out past the 40, past the 35. It's going to take him down to the 32-yard line, and that's an athletic quarterback right there.
Yeah, really athletic quarterback. They ran a little counter off of that where they had the wing and one of the guards pulling from the backside, leading up the hole, and it was a successful play. CHCA is going to have to find a way to plug that hole, and again, Versailles, well-coached, tough ground game. We're going to have to stop it, or they're just going to run it all night.
All right, back to the line. Eagles showing blitz. This time they're going to run the ball to the left side. A stiff arm's going to get through Sakai, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Can't see who that is across the field from us from this angle, but it's going to be a pickup of about 5.
Yeah, that might have been Mueller over there. Sakai, defending his territory as he typically does. Undersized, but comes up and he's scrappy. Man, I love watching number 4 play football.
All right, they're going to say it was only a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 at the 28. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand that ball off again in a big hole. That's going to go down to about the 22-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down.
Lots of big holes right now, Dean, and CHCA is going to have to try to find a way to keep those 5 and 6 yard gains to being 2 and 3 and getting them behind the sticks a little bit. Right now, Versailles has exactly what they want.
All right, and there was a jump off sides. I think that was Jeffrey May, I think, was drawn off sides there.
That was Vonderhaar, I believe.
Oh, was it Vonderhaar?
Can't give him 3 yards.
All right, so they're going to make it 1st and 5. That's going to take them down to the 17-yard line. All right, they're going to go single receiver to each side. And they're going to hand this ball off. There's another good hole to run through, but the back trips up. He's going to get down, though. It's going to be down to about the 13-yard line.
Eagles defense trying to pull what they did against Madeira last week, which is overcome an early turnover and force and keep to a field goal. They got a bunch formation. They got that little slot who's behind the center and the tackle on the right-hand side in the shotgun formation. They're going to hand it off on a little off tackle. They kind of stand them up. On 2nd and 1, I don't know if they got the first down. Let's see where the spot is. We have a really, it looks like they did get the first down there, so it's going to be 1st down and 10 from about the 11-yard line.
All right, they are going to give them the first down, so 1st and 10 at the 11. And Versailles, again, off the turnover, have picked right up and are moving this football. Now they're going to go empty backfield. Quarterback's going to keep it on the quarterback draw. He's going to head to the corner of the end zone, and he scores. Touchdown.
A little bit by one of the spectators, but he did get into the corner of the end zone and hit the pylon. And just like that, Dean, following a turnover, 6-0 Versailles.
All right, so like the first round of a heavyweight fight, you see what the other guys got. And the Eagles just got a picture of what Versailles can do. And so now it's time for them to start figuring out how do you counter those big guys up front. Extra point down, the kick is up, the kick is good. Good leg on that kicker, so just like that, off the turnover, Versailles marches down, totally on the ground, and there you go up 7-0 on a pretty efficient run game.
Yeah, really efficient run game, and we were talking about whether they're going to be rusty at all, Dean, and it sure didn't look like it there, but again, you don't have to dust off a lot of rust when you're just running off tackle and you're running counters and you're running leads. So it is a touchdown for Versailles and an early 7-0 lead here with 7 minutes and 52 seconds left in the first quarter. CHCA, who had the ball first, turned it over, is now going to have to respond.
All right, so the Eagles go back again to receive this kick. Keecham's made a costume change, so he's ready, back out on the field. He's going to be back with Brady Hunt to receive. Ball teed up at the 40. There's the approach, end over end kick. It's going to be short. It's going to be caught by Sakai at the 15-yard line. He's looking for a gap. He's going to try to cut back. Nothing doing. He's going to get just past the 20. Let's call it the 22.
22-yard line for the Eagles to start this second series, and You know, one of those conundrums when you're a coach and you just got the ball ran down your throat. Boy, you really want to move the sticks a little bit. You don't necessarily have to score. It's really early in the game, but you want to flip the field. You want to move the chains a few times and get your boys settled a little bit and get those defensive linemen, those that aren't starting on the offensive line, at least a chance to rest.
Yeah, all right, Eagles back out at it. They're going to go single receiver each side. They're going to hand the ball to Manny. Manny fumbles the football. Ball is loose, but picked up by, I think it was May. One of the linemen went over and got that ball. And Eagles end up, let's see where they spot it. They're going to call it 2nd and 10. Ball still on the 21.
Ooh, well, that was almost cataclysmic, but got it back. You know, this is what happens though when you're on the road in a playoff game. Sometimes you're in unfamiliar territory, trying to play on a grass field. I think for the first time, I guess we played it on grass at North College Hill, but it's not easy.
All right, they're going to give it right back to Manny. Manny's looking for running room, but again, not much happening. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Eagles are going to have to put the ball in the air.
Yeah, boy, Versailles is pretty big up front. They have played again. So Versailles lost to Marion Local in overtime early this year. Marion Local, the powerhouse small school football program here in the state of Ohio. They got beat 21-20. They went for 2 and didn't get it in overtime, and Marion Local has not allowed a score since then in 6 straight games.
All right, Colin rolls out a little bit. Now he's under pressure, throws it across the middle, and incomplete. Closest one to that was number 23. And so the Eagles, 3 and out, are going to have to punt this ball away.
Well,
This is going to be a game where I think the Eagles are going to have to pass the ball to loosen up the run, because with those big guys up front, it's going to be some tough sledding. All right, so back to punt. Caleb Mary is going to kick, an spiraling kick is going to bounce at the Eagle 45, but take a Tiger bounce. It's going to be down at the 43. So good field position for Versailles as they start out this second drive.
They're actually getting better field position, it looks like, after a 3 and out than they did on the turnover, which is not a recipe for success. We really need the defense here to kind of stand on their head a little bit. They have performed so well all year, but of course, the biggest challenge of the season.
All right, back to the line, single receiver each side. Big back to the left of the quarterback. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to squirt through the line. Probably picks up about 4 yards. Actually, let's call it 3. We'll call that a 2nd down and 7.
I'm really impressed with the Versailles offensive line. Look how low, as I said before, you can just see their stature's low when that ball is snapped. They're just low, flying into the defense, and CHCA is going to have to stand up here.
All right. Eagles have it packed in the middle. They got single receiver. Actually had 2 receivers. Now they're going to hand the ball off. Number 15 is going to head around the corner, and he's going to have a 1st down on a nice little run there.
So one of the downsides when I guess positives if you're the offense, is when you have success running between the tackles and you're running those leads, you're running those that power, and you're running counter, all of a sudden, like you saw, CHCA starts packing guys' bodies in just to try to, man on man some of those blockers. Now that opens up the outside, and I think that's what we're seeing a little bit right now.
All right, back to the line, 2 receivers to the left. Now they're going to come in motion. They're going to fake the jet sweep. The ball actually goes to the left, but the Eagles do a pretty good job of shutting that play down, pick up maybe a couple yards.
Yeah, wonderful play over there on the right side of the defense. Take away that counter. If we can take away that counter, that's one of the big plays that Versailles relies on. So excellent job over there. looks like that was 74, Eric Parker.
All right, back to the line. Now they're going to bring two receivers wide to the right. They're going to stack the right side. The quarterback's going to hand the ball off. He's got lead blockers to the right. He's got running room inside the 20 to the 10, and he's going to be taken down at about the 5-yard line. And they had the big boys out front of that.
Yeah, they did. Well blocked. They had a lot of bodies out there. And Versailles now has the ball inside the 5-yard line. I know we don't have the height we typically do for the game film, so we're a little bit lower. But man,
all right,
inauspicious start here, Dean.
All right, so it's going to be 1st and goal from the 5, 3:56 left in the quarter. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he gets stuffed
and it looks like
by McKeachum, and there's going to be a hold, I think, to bring that one back, hopefully to the 15.
I didn't see it, but that's typically the area of holding for the offense, and it is indeed, as the referee just indicated, a holding penalty, and let's bring them back.
All right, well, that's the first thing that slowed this Tiger team down. Let's see if Eagles, now getting them off schedule, can make a big defensive stand here. All right, so they're going to move that ball back to the 17-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 17. Single receivers to each side. Big number 15 to the left of his quarterback. Actually, they're going to shift sides. They're going to put the backs and the fullback to the right. Now they're going to hand that ball off. He's got some running room. It's going to be a dash to the pylon. Touchdown for Sales.
We had a really good view of it on the film. You can see as they ran that off tackle to the left. I don't even know if he was touched, Dean.
Yeah, once he got outside, and again, this is one of those schools with the big guys up front, but their backs have some speed. And he outran the defender to the pylon. All right, the snap is down, the hold, the kick is up, the kick is good. And so with 3:24 left in the first quarter, Eagles find themselves down 14-0.
Well,
it's time to get up off the mat.
You know, when you got punched in the face like this, Dean, you know, Coach Woods and you know, any coach in the spot just you got to tell your kids you can't score 14 points in one play.
Lots of time. We're still in the first quarter. Again, the one thing we've seen this year, the adjustments get made and the team responds. So again, right now, haven't seen an answer to this offense, but the coaches will figure that out. We got smart kids. End over end kick. It's going to be caught by McKeachum at the 10. He fumbled the football. He picks it up though, but here comes the defenders. He puts a nice move, gets him some running room. He's going to get out close to the 20, which is really good for the way that play started out. But again, so far nothing's quite gone right for the Eagles. Let's see if they can put together a drive here to get a little bit of this momentum back.
Well, there's been an interception, and then now that's the second ball that's hit the turf. You know, at some point the players just have to make plays. Tough start.
We missed one of our sideline guys. Sedaris is at home tonight. We're entertaining him. All right, Collins going to keep this one. Busts forward. Picks up a couple yards.
So I think, you know, this game is very reminiscent of the start of the Roger Bacon game. just where you get kind of smacked a little bit, and now let's see how we can respond. 2nd down and long here, Dean.
All right, Eagles going trips to the left, single receiver right. It's McKeachum by himself over there. And got Hunt in the backfield. He takes a quick pass. He's going to try to get around the corner, but the Eagles lose ground on that little swing pass. And so that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And again, we have a rough angle here. But that was a loss of 4, so that's going to bring up about a 3rd and 11. All right, Eagles are going to go trips right, single left. Sacco alone on the bottom of the screen. He's looking his direction. Pressure on Collin. Floats it out, and that's going to drop incomplete. And so the Eagles are going to have to punt this ball right back with 1:54 left in the first quarter. Eagles trail 14-0 and are going to be kicking the ball back to this Versailles offense.
You know, the Versailles offense has been impressive, but the defense, I mean, Versailles right now, CHCA, I think, has run 8 offensive plays, 2 3-and-outs, and a turnover on the second play in the first series. So that looks like that was either partially blocked or just a missed kick. I didn't see what happened there.
There's a flag on the play. They're going to call holding on the Eagles, but I'm assuming that's going to be declined. And we've just been joined by the Tiger. All right, so the field position for the Tigers keeps getting better. They're going to start this one at the 30-yard line.
Wow. Couldn't have drawn up a tougher start on a script.
All right, he's going to run to the right side. He gets around to the corner to the 30, to the 25. Eagles drive him out of bounds. They're going to mark that out actually at about the 26. We'll call it a gain of 4. Some people on the Eagles sideline looking for a holding call, but I don't see any laundry on the field.
No laundry down there, and that's, you know, if we're not going to get that call out on the edge, boy, it's going to be a long night. You're going to have to get off of that hold. You're going to have to set that edge, and you're already asking these boys to do a whole heck of a lot against a good football team. That's a tough extra.
All right,
ask.
2 receivers left, single right. There's a whistle before the play on this one. Eagles call a timeout. All right, Coach. If you're out there right now, your boys are on the road, facing a really big team. Kind of take a punch in the mouth first couple trips down the field. What are you telling them at this point?
Well, I think it's the same thing, you know, that we said prior to the last series is, you know, we got to get a stop at some point, focus on the next play. The most important play is the next play. You can't deal about everything that's happened has already happened. You can't change what is in the past, right? You can't change, you know, 2 3-and-outs, putting the ball on the ground, throwing an interception, getting grunged for 2 touchdowns. Versailles hasn't put in the air. None of that matters. We got to stop them on the next play. We got to get a stop, get the football back, adjust a little bit offensively, and see what we can do for attacking. But really, all of that is for nothing if Versailles goes in and puts it in and gets a 3-score lead. Then it's all done except, you know, the semantics.
All right, so back to the line. Versailles now going to go 4 receivers with a kind of a spread look more like what the Eagles put out there. 2 receivers to each side, shotgun, 1 back. Looking across for a play call. A little bit of confusion, but now they're ready. He takes the snap, he's looking, he throws the slant across the middle. nice little pitch and catch. It's going to be a first down at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, that's a really good route against either a cover 3 or man coverage. You're just going to send those slots on a kind of a go route, and then you run a deep a 5, 8, 10-yard in from those outside guys right in the vacated area of those linebackers or safeties. So really well-designed play.
All right, back to the line. Single receivers to each side, shotgun formation. They're going to hand that ball off straight up the middle, and there the Eagles put a stop to that one. It was Eric Parker. Looked like he said he's had enough.
Yes, he did, and boy, you could see that counter coming. You could see the way it was set up, and the right side of the defense, the right side of the actual defense, the left side of the offense, really held up very well there. No gain. That might be the end of the first quarter here.
They'll let this one run out.
Well, we'll see.
Well, maybe not. 10 seconds. They're going to come to the line. Sales wanted to use every second here. Actually, the Eagles get a 5-yard penalty, so that's even better than running out the clock. So with 3.4 seconds, they're going to back this one up, make it second and
15.
Second and 15.
Boy, it makes you pull your hair out if you're the offensive coordinator for Versailles. You're trying to get a cheapie against CHCA, and then one of your own kids jumps. So fortuitous for a little reprieve here as the clock's going to run. That's going to end the first quarter, Dean, and not a lot of really fun things to discuss. Not a lot of great things. I suppose the positive is it can only go up from here.
Yeah, so as we end the first quarter, they're going to switch sides.
And so now we get to show this side of the field for the first time. $14-0 Versailles. And big defensive series upcoming here for the Eagles.
And again, for the Eagles, a tough first half. They had the one turnover on the interception on the first drive. They put the ball on the ground in the second drive. They recovered it, but there's another 3-and-out. Third one 3-and-out, and a punt, which may have been partially blocked. But on the 3 drives for Versailles so far, they started at the Eagles, or at their own 48, at the Eagle 46, and at the Eagle 30. So with a pretty dominant offense and short fields to work with, that's not a recipe for success.
No, it is not.
All right, so we come to the line. 2 receivers right, single left. They're going to move big 44 to H-back to the right. They're going to hand this ball off. He's got the corner and more. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. Touchdown, Versailles. And with that, the Tigers go up 20-0 with the extra point coming on the first play of the second quarter.
Ooh. Shades of the Madison game coming back at me here, Dean, unfortunately. Versailles is everything that they've been hyped to be, everything that it has been noted about them on the message boards and in the high school football community. Extra point is up, and it is good. 21-0. And right now, you're a senior. This is a senior-laden team. We can go out fighting, right? Put up something, or it's going to be one of the longest nights of your life. So there's a lot of pride on this team. There's a lot of young men with great character, with talent, and let's see who's going to step up and be the leader that the Eagles need right now.
Yeah, this Eagle team came out of that extra point walking a little bit flat-footed with not much spring in their steps. And a couple coaches got out there, and they got them fired up there. So let's see how the Eagles respond. As you said, this is a program full of history and pride. Nobody wants to go on the road and have it taken to him. So let's see the Eagles bounce back here. All right, approach kick, end over end, well kicked, back, fumbled into the end zone, and that's probably a good thing. The Eagles are going to get that brought out.
Oh, man.
Now let's see if this offense can find a little bit of rhythm here.
Well,
Eagle crowd is trying to get a little rallying of the boys going. Manny's going back out there as running back. All right, so if you're just joining us, it's been all Tigers so far. They're up on the Eagles 21-0 with 10 seconds into the second quarter. First play, they're going to hand it to Manny. Manny breaks through. There's a little running room. Manny gets out close to the 30. We'll call it the 29. That'll bring us 2nd and 1. That was the best play of the night for the Eagles. Let's see if they get up on that.
Yeah, that's a nice little crease. If we can, again, little plays, one play at a time. You're not gonna get back all of the deficit on one play. Every play, focus on your job, do your job. Weird things happen in high school football. So,
all right, this time Colin's gonna keep it, and Colin fights for the first down, and he'll probably pick him an extra yard. But I think I see a flag on the field. Maybe that's actually just the strip.
It does look like it's the strip. So if you're just joining us this year, because of the COVID protocols, the referees have like a pink or orange marker that mark the line of scrimmage, because the center takes the ball, as you can see right there. So sometimes we get that confused with a flag on the field.
All right, they're going to hand the ball to Manny again. Manny's going to look for a hole. Manny's going to get out to the 35. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and about 6.
Signs of life here. Moving the ball a little bit. At this point in the game, though, Dean, signs of life are great. But
that's exactly right.
We also need to start making a dent.
Actually, they gave Colin the 32.
And it looks like there was a penalty on the
they're
play.
Bringing it back.
I did not see what the call was, unfortunately.
No, 5-yard variety though, so it's going to bring up a first down and 15.
It was an illegal shift.
All right, legal shift by the Eagles. They come to the line. 2 receivers stacked on each side. They're going to give the ball to Manny. There's nothing on that one. Manny's going to get driven backwards. I don't think he got the line of scrimmage.
Well, the good news is, when you start having a little success, when you start ripping off, 5-6 yard gains, that's going to create Versailles to have to make some adjustment, get another guy in the box, and that's going to open up the passing game. That's got to be the thought process of the staff here. So let's see if Colin and the boys can capitalize on it. They only have 1 safety deep. It looks like they're...
All right, Colin drops back. He's looking. He's got McKeachum over the middle. Intercepted to the 30, to the 25. Raced and taken down by Colin. And he had a receiver, but he put it on a line and he didn't put it over the linebacker. I don't think he saw him, hit him right in the chest.
That's one of those where you're locked in on your wide out, and he ran like a deep end, the same route that Versailles ran on the opposite side of the field. He ran the same route, it was open, and like you said, Dean, he didn't even see the linebacker, so he let that thing go, and the linebacker seemed to come out of nowhere from his perspective. That is a great play by Versailles, and that's a tough break for CHCA as they were seemingly moving the sticks again.
All right, so again, their field position keeps getting better. This drive they start at the 16. They're going to hand that ball off, hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to have no gain. Jeffrey May wrapped him up, and he was going nowhere.
Yeah, really good stop there by May and some of the big boys up front, taking that away. Holy smoke.
All right, 2nd down and 10. This field design, there's not 10 yards of sideline. So everyone's right close to the field and close to each other. They're going to run the ball, sweep to the right, and that's going to go into the end zone. 27-0 Tigers. 9:05 left in the first half. Extra point coming.
It's a frustrating night, Dean. It's a frustrating night.
All right, we have a lot of seniors on this team, so I know they're going to want to have some memories different from what they've just experienced in this game, so they're going to have to come out slugging.
I think the most frustrating thing, Dean, is, you know, Versailles is a better football team. You know, they have shown it. They're a better football team tonight. They're just not getting our best shot. The kids have been sloppy. The execution has been not great. And man, that's got to be frustrating for these kids. But now you have nothing to lose. I think, you have nothing to lose. Let's go out there, play with your buddies for one last evening, have a blast. It's so frustrating. But now the scoreboard, now as a coach, Dean, you're saying, hey, the scoreboard doesn't matter, right? Go out there, do your job, execute to the best of your ability, and do it one more time. As I said, high school football is weird. Things things would have to change drastically to get back in this one. But now you have nothing. You have nothing left to do but go and play your heart out.
All right, so teed up again by Versailles. They're going to be kicking this one from right to left. High end over end kick is going to be caught at the 1 yard line by McKeachum. He's going to try to bring that out. Nice block there. They're going to get it out to the 25, all the way to the 27. A nice little return. Now let's see if the Eagles can take this ball down the length of the field.
Yeah, let's see how the offense is. It has not been on full cylinder tonight. It has been a tough sledding all evening. 2 turnovers, 2 3-and-outs. Now it's time to put something together.
All right, Eagles back to the line. Collins going to keep the football. No, actually that was Brady Hunt. He ran kind of a wildcat there. I missed it lining up, but I think he took a direct snap.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Actually, I don't see
Ames.
Ames out there. Ames is down at the end of the line. They actually have Brady's going to run this offense right now. And they hand the jet sweep over to Sakai to the left side. He gets around the corner. He's still on his feet all the way out to the 42. It's the best play of the night for the Eagles.
Yeah, really nice play. The little jet sweep, and that's little life breathed into this offense.
All right, so looking over for a play call. Brady Hunt in as the QB. Eagles are going to have 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Single receiver to each side. Now they're going to run another swing to McKeachum on the right side. He's got running room. He's going to get taken down. They're going to mark him at the 49, and the Eagles all of a sudden have a little bit of life in this offense.
Yeah, that's really good to see. Good job on the edge over here on the right-hand side down to the near side. Really good job on the point of attack. Versailles looked like they had guys there, but kind of snuck through a little hole, got up near the 50-yard line, and don't look now, but CHCA is about to cross midfield.
All right, so the Eagles, 2nd and 2. All right, they're going to bring Sakai in motion again. And they're going to hand this ball off to McKeachum. And McKeachum fights to get to the 50. So that's going to bring down a third, and we'll call it 1. But I would assume at this point we're going to be taking 4th downs all day long.
Most likely, here comes Colin Ames. If I was a betting man, which I am, I would bet that he's going to take this quarterback sneak just the way he did in the North College Hill on fourth and goal inside the 1-yard line.
All right, so under center, and Colin does take it. And that's why you do so well in Vegas.
That's right. Now you owe me $10.
First down, Eagles. And they're going to move the chains, and the Eagles are in Versailles territory for the first time tonight.
That's a good thing. It's a little, movement, flip the field. If we turning the ball over now would give Versailles their worst starting position of the game. Oh.
All right, so the Eagles are getting the offense rolling. Let's get him on the scoreboard. All right, they're going to hand that ball off to Brady. He's going to go around the edge. He's going to get tripped up.
Yeah,
but there's going to be a flag. Going to bring that one back, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely going to bring that back. Looked like Landrum on the hold on the edge, and so now we're back into Eagles territory after a 10-yard. And unfortunately, it looks like this is going to be about a 15-yarder because of that wonderful rule in the state of Ohio where it's from the spot of the foul, and that is just... That's the worst rule in sports.
Wow.
That's almost a 20-yard penalty. That is just...
All right, so the Eagles are moved all the way back to their own 40. So the Eagles have 25 yards to go. Thankfully, it's 1st and 25.
Yeah, but you're getting a 16-yard penalty for holding. That is just ridiculous.
All right, so actually they're at the 39. They're going to run a quick little pass over to McKeachum, catches out to the 40. Let's see where they mark him out. They're going to say the 49. But a good little play for the Eagles. And again, Chad, Eagles march this ball down. If they put it in the end zone, that's going to breathe a little life into this team. Let's see, then you get a hold and just start shifting your way of thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of time in this ball game.
Lots of time. Dean, we said this back again when we were playing the Corey Kiners, the fact that it's not a game till you get a stop. When you get a stop, then you can start dreaming.
All right, Collins looking. Again, good reception out there to McKeachum, who goes up high, makes a great catch, and that's going to cut it to a 3rd and 4.
I would say you have 2 downs here, Dean, to get 4 yards.
Again, that was a 1st and 26. So to get it to a 3rd and about 3, actually, they're going to call it 4 officially. Receiver 8 each side, single receiver. Hunt in the backfield. And they're going to hand the ball off to Brady, who maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 4th down, and we'll call it 4.
4th and 4. It's a big play, not just on the scoreboard, not just for the status of the game, but for the psyche of these guys as the train goes by Versailles here. So,
all right, here we go. Big play for these Eagles. Collins going to keep the football. He's got running room. He's got the 1st down and more. Collins down the sideline. They will mark him out at about the 30-yard line, exactly, actually. That'll be a 1st down. To get 1st and 26 and pick it up, that's got to do something for the Eagles.
That's really good, man. I would love, there's 4.5 minutes here left in the half. I would love to get the football in the end zone. And again, we got to stop the Tigers. If you stop the Tigers, then we can start talking about next steps. But right now, do your job, execute the next play.
All right, quick pass out to Ian Sawkill. Ian to the 20 on his feet. Ian gets down to about the 18-yard line. And again, that moves the sticks, another first down. All of a sudden, this Eagles offense has figured it out, and they're moving the football.
And it looks like Versailles is going to call a timeout. So timeout for the Tigers. CHCA.
There's some life back in that Eagles sideline.
This is the team that this is the team and the execution we expected right out of the gate. And Dean, I don't know if it was if it's the cold. I don't know if it's intimidation by playing a team that's a higher seed from the MAC, conference. But boy, that first quarter was that was a tough start. And you get down in a hole like that by the time you start finally showing some life. And, the adjustments the coaching staff has worked. Again, you're down 28-0. CHCA is facing a huge deficit. It's tied for the largest deficit of the season from the loss to Roger Bacon when they lost 42-14. But, at this point, the adjustments are made. They found how to attack this team. Play the next play.
And McKeachum, who'd been taken out, and they were working on him, taping his ankle up again. He has got the shoe back on. He's on the sideline, getting a drink, ready to go. Play action, pump, a throw down towards the end zone. Incomplete to Sawkill.
Yeah, sorry, we can't see in that corner of the end zone because of our vantage point.
Colin put that throw in there, but I couldn't see if the defender got a hand on it. It was into coverage.
Sawkill gave it an effort. Ball fell to the turf.
All right, 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 18-yard line. All right, Colin's going to keep the football, looking for a hole, spinning. He's going to get down to about the 16-yard line. It's going to bring down a 3rd down and 8.
Again, same thing. There's no reason at all here to kick a field goal. When you're down big, you're just going to take every down that you got to try to get as much yards as you can. You have 2 downs to get 8 yards.
All right, back to the line. Got McKeachum to the right. Manny back in the game at back. Got Jostler spread out to the left. Play action. And now over to McKeachum on the sideline. Incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down and 8 from the 16. Eagles have been going to 2 receiver sets rather than their typical 4. See how they're going to line up here. They're going to put McKeachum to the right, Sawkill by himself, and actually Sawkill and Sakai on the left. Eagles are going to call a timeout.
Yeah, it's probably
talk about it.
Yeah, good idea to call a timeout. This 4th down here is really, it's a really important play for the psyche of this team. You can almost say that this 4th down play, the game is almost out of reach. If we don't convert this 4th down and find a way to get the ball in the end zone by the end of this first half, it's going to be really, really, really difficult to do anything else. So this 4th and 8, Coach Woods brings the guys around, wants to talk to them, have the staff reach out to them, because this play here, again, this is not the game, but this is to continue a pulse.
Yep. It feels like it's gotten colder.
Oh, buddy. I was anticipating being in a booth. I was anticipating being in a,
nice little heater with popcorn.
nice little warm spot. I am vastly underdressed.
Eagles come out, 4 receivers. It's going to be McKeachum, Jostler to the right, Sawkill, Sakai to the left. Colin dropping back, looking right. Now he's stepping up. He's going to run the football. He throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Miss McKeachum, but there's a flag.
And he probably was over the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball, is my guess. Or there's an illegal man downfield. Either way, I believe this is going to be Versailles football.
We have a bad vantage point. I can't tell how much yardage he could have gotten if he ran that football. He had a little bit of running room, but again, he needed 8 yards.
Yeah. That's disappointing.
All right, so Versailles is going to take over at the 16-yard line. 3:35 left in the first half. If you're just joining us, it's been all Tigers. They're up 28-0 at this point.
So they are going to take the penalty because the penalty was that Ames threw that ball across the line of scrimmage. It is a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down, which turns the ball over, but also gives Versailles an extra 5 yards.
All right, so they're going to start this drive at the 21. Let's see if the defense can make something happen here. All right. Versailles looking across, changing up the play. Quarterback's going to hand that ball off, and he's going to have a big hole up the middle, and he gets ridden down by Sakai, but not till he gets out to the 33-yard line. It's a first down.
Well, now it becomes a matter of, and there's a hold. So holding against Versailles, so that is going to wipe off that big gain.
All right, so there was a break for the Eagles, push them back. Let's get the defense to get a stop here.
You know, maybe this is the spot in the game like the Wisconsin-Illinois game where we can get a defensive score here, Dean. Without the rest of the game playing out
I'll say, how about my Badgers?
Yeah, that Graham Mertz era.
There might be a new superstar on the scene.
The Graham Mertz era is off to a rousing start, I believe.
All right, they're going to
for Versailles.
Call a timeout for Versailles.
Yeah, Graham Mertz for your Wisconsin Badgers, Dean, looked pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was it 22 of 23 or 23 of 24?
Something like that.
With 5 touchdowns in his first start of his career as a redshirt freshman. You can't really complain.
You sure can't. You know, I was thinking that's one of the most impressive starts I've seen, and then I saw Justin Fields today, and his only incomplete pass was a dropped pass in the end zone.
Was it? I didn't see.
He looked really good.
What was the final?
I believe it was 52-17. So it was a little close in the first half. It was 14-14 at one point in the second quarter, and then they just kind of poured it on. So Versailles is going to come out of their timeout here. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left here in the first half, and CHCA's defense is trying to use the aid of the clock to try to stop the Tigers for the first time all evening.
All right, so here we go. 1st and 19, ball on the 9-yard line. They're going to throw the ball. Now the quarterback's going to run. He's got the edge. He's around the corner, breaks a tackle, and he's on the loose. Sakai runs him down from behind, but not until he gets all the way out to the 26-yard line, are they going to say?
Man, it looks like he ran for so long because of our vantage point, but it was all laterally. So it looks like he gained about 8 yards, 9 yards maybe, but man, broken tackles break your soul. You just wrap up and drive your feet, guys.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2nd down and 2. Ball on the 27-yard line.
Let's go, Eagles! Let's go!
All right, back to the line. They're going to hand this ball up, straight up the middle. Eagles stack him up, but the pile moves. Still moving. Now it looks like a rugby scrum as it moves down the field. And it's going to get all the way out close to the 40. Let's call it the 39. And the Versailles crowd love that.
Yeah, that's just getting too high. You just need one dude to go and wrap up a guy's legs, and that whole pile falls 7 yards further. Everyone's just trying to do the rugby scrum. You need one linebacker, one DB to come in and go flying right at somebody's thighs and knock them down.
All right, back to the line. Eagles going to bring the blitz, and they wrap him up in the backfield there, and they throw him back down. So now the Eagles crowd gets into it as they take him back for a loss of about 2. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 12 back at the 35-yard line. Clock running. It's at 2:10 in the first half.
I'm kind of surprised Versailles hasn't pushed the pedal to the metal a little bit, trying to get in the end zone one more time. They're sitting on it, but CHCA's defense also has something to do with that.
All right, they're going to go 3 receivers, trips to the right, single receiver left. Now they're going to call a timeout, Tigers.
I feel like they've had like 7 timeouts.
I know, it really does.
I
and I don't know why.
That's their last one here of the half. So 1:48. I wouldn't be surprised Versailles runs this about 2 more times and calls it a half. Boy, you know, couldn't go better from their perspective. So, and they get the ball coming out of the half. So not a lot of incentive, I suppose, to try something a little riskier than their normal game plan when you're sitting on a 28-point lead in the playoff game. As I said, you know, Versailles has had a very successful year. They have played this MAC conference extremely tough. Marion Local, as I said earlier, Marion Local has blown out everybody except for this Versailles team, who they, Versailles took them to overtime. Looking at their scores, they beat the defending state Division 6 state champs in the first week. They beat Delphia St. John. They beat Parkway, Fort Recovery. Their only losses have been to New Bremen and Marion Local. Both teams still alive in the playoffs.
All right. We're going to hand the ball out to 15. He's got the corner. And he's going to get all the way down to the 45, which is going to make him about 3 yards short of a first down. And for the record, it's down to 41 degrees, feels like 38. So we weren't just making that up. So it's getting down to 36 tonight, so.
My wife even told me you should bring a jacket. I'm like, nah, I'll be okay. So
I think I should have brought gloves. I got a few layers on them, still chilly.
Parka.
All right, back to the line. In motion, fake the jet sweep. They hand it up straight off the middle, but Eagles stop him. And so that's going to be 4th down. The first time the Eagles stop Versailles tonight. Clock's going to run under 1 minute. Going to bring out the punt team. McKeecham's going to drop back to receive the punt.
Eagles are going to get this with about 20 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds left on the clock.
All right, he's standing back on his own 30. He's taking his time. They're at 30 seconds. So 25 seconds. They're going to take the penalty. 23.2 left in the half.
I do love that they've got the play clocks in the end zone. Makes it a lot easier to see what's happening.
All right, so that takes him back to his 25. They've got no gunners. They're just trying to protect. And a nice high driving punt's going to be caught at the 20 by McKeecham. To the 30. To the 35. Crosley gets out to the 37 and a flag. So let's see what they're going to call there. I imagine that's going to push us backwards, usually on a special teams flag. Flags tend to be on receiving teams. Well, let's see.
Yes, they do. That is probably either a block in the back. I don't think there was anybody peeling back for one of those blindside blocks. It's been new in the last couple of years. So let's see if they're marching off 5 or 10. Personal foul. So it looks like they are doing the blindside block. Tell you what, Dean, at this point, if I am running things, we're going to take a knee and we're going to regroup. Because
yeah, 11.3 seconds, and
lot of good things can happen. There's a lot of things that can happen, and only one of them is good, and about 1 million of them are bad.
We won't talk about the hook and lateral again.
Oh, Dean.
All right, so the Eagles, actually they're not in the kneel down formation. I'm going to give the ball to Manny Tate, who's going to squirt through the line out to the 26. Well, that'll be the last play of the half for the Eagles. So as these teams leave the field, it's the Versailles Tigers 28, Eagles nothing. And it's time for halftime.
It has been an evening of intense frustration. All of the big plays, all of the players that we've called so many times this year. It's just been there's been very little to highlight. It started bad and it got worse. And kudos to Versailles. They've had a really good game plan. They've executed their game plan to perfection. If you're on their coaching staff, you got to think, I don't know how else we could have scripted this to go better. And from a CHCA standpoint, it has just been, I think it's just poor execution. And man, tough half. This is different than Madison. I'm going back to that Madison game where we just got blasted in the first half, right? That Madison team was unbelievable. Versailles is good, but boy, I sure would have liked to see us give them our best shot, and I just don't feel like we've done that in the first half, Dean. And that's, I think, the most frustrating thing. And it's not. It's not the play calls. It's just a fact that I think we got punched in the mouth. It's the coldest game of the year, and I'm trying to figure out how do you respond to that.
Well, from the way this game started in the first quarter, things slowed a bit in a negative direction in the second quarter. See if the Eagles can come out and show us something this second half to try to make this game close, because again, as you and I both know, these guys play for pride. You have a lot of senior young men out there, most of whom won't put on helmet and pads again. And the question's going to be, they don't want to be put on the clock to go out their final game.
Right.
Like you said, that happened in that Madisonville game, and the Madison game rather. And so let's see these Eagles come out, show us what they can do, see what adjustments get made. If you remember last week's game, not a lot of offense first half, 6-6. We went into halftime and the Eagles came out, and coaches drew it up, right? And they came out and they made great offensive adjustments. Let's see what we have here. That last drive, the Eagles did move the football. Again, it stalled at the 16, but let's see what they can do here in the second half.
Yeah, Dean, honestly, I'm frustrated, but I got to remember back in July, I got to just think the fact that we're sitting here at a high school playoff game in the weirdest year that I can remember, like, I'm thankful and I'm joyful that I get to feel this frustration. And
that we can freeze together.
We're sitting here in the middle of central Ohio, right? In wherever the heck we are, Darke County, Mercer County, wherever the heck we are up here, and freezing our tails off outside. But here we are watching playoff football, and the Eagles have extended their postseason run to 11 years in a row in the postseason. I count this week as the actual first postseason week, Dean, because this is where we're down to the final 8 seeds. So this is what would have been the playoffs. So making the playoffs, getting to experience this amazing location. I mean, Versailles, this is a really cool little town. This excellent stadium. This is what high school football is all about. And my heart breaks for some of these seniors because I know how much they've put in. I know how hard they've worked. I've coached a lot of these guys since when they were in 7th and 8th grade. So it's not their night. It's been a tough evening on the football field, but we can't forget everything it took to get here. Everything it took to get here, the adversity of the Roger Bacon game, and overcoming that and playing very well down the stretch, beating Madeira in the first round for the last game at home for these guys, for a lot of these guys. So yes, it's frustrating, and we'll have lots of time to look back and say the what ifs. But at the end of the day, if you're just taking the first half into consideration, Versailles is a better football team. They're a better football team. They're moving the football. We're having a hard time stopping their ground, pound and ground game, and we just haven't looked good on offense. And it's not been the strategy. It's not been the play calls. It's just been some tough execution and some things that haven't gone our way. The first interception, honestly, both the interceptions that Colin has thrown, the first one is because he was amped up a little bit and put a little juice on it. The second one, he never saw the linebacker. He was throwing to his receiver who was open, and that linebacker did a really good job kind of squeezing out, getting depth on his drop and doing his job, and Colin never saw him. So you got to give a tip of the hat sometimes to the other team. And Versailles has been everything they've been billed to be.
You mentioned about what it took to get here. When I think about what it took to get here, I remember in the middle of the summer getting a call from A.D. Taylor where this team had its first experience with people with COVID, learning how to figure out quarantine, having to shut down all practices for a couple weeks in the middle of the summer, and we had just started getting things going again as Ohio was clearing people to practice. And when that happened so soon, a bunch of these players, a few of them did, were sick. The thought of having a football season seemed non-existent in my mind. You kept trying to be encouraging, but it felt like, how can we make this happen and move forward? But you know what? These coaches were so intentional about how do you run practices, how do you keep guys distanced, how do you do conditioning. They had to stay outside, they had to keep them out of the weight room. Guys in masks doing all kinds of things, charting out every practice and how to keep people in groups separated, so if one person got sick, not the whole team would have to go. And in the midst of this, you got Coach Woods, who's in the process of trying to move here and having trouble finding a house, and I mean, all the things they had to deal with, and that they have made it be so successful to just pull off a season, let alone having a 5-1 season and getting to the third week of the playoffs. And so, hats off to everybody. Let's see them come out in the second half and maybe do something miraculous. But even to get to this point, there's part of me that looks at as miraculous from where I was thinking middle of July this year.
Dean, I agree with you entirely. So I hadn't even had my parents' meeting by about July 28th, and as the middle school football coach. We started August 3rd, and that was right when all the stuff broke, where we went on a 2-week break. The varsity program went on a 2-week break. I wouldn't have bet $2 we were going to have a football season. And again, I said it at the top of the broadcast. I'm going to say it again, even though tonight's not our night, that I think the first season under Coach Woods has been a rousing success. I think that it has been, all things considered, even if you don't take the pandemic and all the insanity that goes along, I mean, you're making the playoffs, and you just ran up against a better team tonight. But the Eagles consistently performed to where we should have this year. Who did we give it? Who have we been beat by? We got beat by Roger Bacon with a once-in-a-generation talent for Southwest Ohio, happens to be on the Roger Bacon Spartans, going to LSU next year. And you want to get geared up and you get excited and you want to play that, but there's no harm and no shame in getting pounded against a team that's better than you with the best player in the state of Ohio, right? And now we come up here and it's the playoffs. This is what the playoffs are about. Coming to another team, we kind of measuring stick, and guess what? We got some room to grow, and we knew that from playing Coldwater a few years ago. That we just got to go back to the drawing board. How do you compete against the MAC? How do you compete against the best of the best in the state of Ohio? We're really good in the city of Cincinnati. from D4, 5, 6, 7 schools in the city of Cincinnati, I'd put CHCA, I'd put us up against anybody. But you get up here where this is the only game in town, and there's not, the big schools, sucking up the talent, right? Where this is
one place to go.
If you live in the vicinity of Versailles, you are playing football right here. So there's a lot to say about, some of these, the small town Ohio, the pride and the character of these programs. Coldwaters, the Marion locals. You look at Kirtland up in the northeast Ohio. This is who CHCA. This is the next step, and that's why Coach Woods has been brought here. And this is his first experience seeing. Okay, we're not measuring us against Madeira.
Right.
We're not measuring us against any of the other teams that are on our schedule. You can't measure against Roger Bacon because there's not going to be an LSU recruit dropped in the middle, right? But I think it's been really good for Coach Woods to say, okay, I got, now that life is going to settle down, we're not going to have a season of COVID next year. We got the taste. The staff has the taste of what it is here. How do we make this program better? And I got full confidence in the program and in Coach Woods. So it has been, it's been a season of growth, and again, a season of Thanksgiving. That's the only thing I can think, Dean, is that I'm just so thankful that we are here. I think the same thing. Our middle school program just finished up this week. We ended up 6-2. We beat Norwood last week and ended up beating the South Dayton Knights this week, which is the Kettering Altar program. So
nice.
we won 28-16 on Wednesday to finish up the season 6-2, and we talked at length about some of the mistakes that I made from the coaching sideline against Lachlan, throwing a hook and ladder to a trick play that blew up in our face that caused one of our losses. But the future's bright. That's one of the things I want to say, is that we got a great group of 8th graders coming up to be freshmen next year. I know we got a good group of freshmen. A couple smaller classes. The junior and sophomore classes are small in number, but got some really good talented football players. So the future's bright. Coach Woods is going to have a lot to work with, and successful first year. Boy, sure, that made me feel a little bit better about this first half. Kind of looking forward to the good things and reminiscing on how we got here. But
tell me a little bit about who we have coming up. Who are your 8th graders this year that we should be keeping an eye out for?
We got some really good kids. Really good. We got a really good mix of talent and talent being the skills guys and some of the line. There's a kid, Blake Sisney, is an 8th grader. He's going to be really good. He's a big man, never played football before. He's trying to figure things out. We got Caleb Rosenfeld. He played outside linebacker. He had never played football before.
He came over from the soccer side.
He did. There's a young man, Benai Smoot, who also really had not played football before, and that kid just, these guys learned how to play as the season went along. Our quarterback was Ben Soloria. Our backup quarterback and kind of one of the jack-of-all-trades was Roman Mallerwine. And, he's got a lot of potential in a lot of spots. We have one more vest coming. I know we got Justin and Andrew, the twins, are seniors, and Lucy is the freshman. So Jackson's going to be coming up, and Jackson kind of played everywhere for me in the middle school program. He played at tackle and defensive end this year, but also some tight end and caught a touchdown in the last game. DJ Wojciechowski is a name to think of. We had
DJ up on campus this week. He did a
nice.
a visit, shadowed up at the high school this week.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we had about 13 or 14 8th graders. I'm thinking of some of the big. We got a lot of big guys. Austin Aspinwall is, I know his brother Aspinwall played for a couple of years, but Austin is like a rolling ball of butcher knives, is what I call him, man. When he wants to get physical, you're not going to go through him. We got Murphy and Cooper Jepson at slot. We got Johnny Irwin and Nate Hayes at wideout. I mean, we kind of had a whole group of guys at almost every position. So again, the future is bright. We had a fantastic 8th grade group and a great middle school football team. So Lots of good things coming down the pike.
And I heard a lot of sibling names in there too, with Solarias and Aspinwall as an alum, and Smoot, right? We got Kyla, who's a superstar, who's looking forward to getting the basketball season started.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Vest, of course. It's been a long time since we haven't been talking about vests, so it's good that more vests are coming.
More vests are on the way. It's so again, lots of really good things in the future. And then as we look here forward to the second half, we probably got another 2 to 3 minutes as they give a warm-up period. But frankly, the game is on life support right now. CHCA, in order to have any semblance of an idea of making this competitive, they're going to have to get a stop. They're going to have to stop Versailles in the first. If Versailles is going to get the football, they're going to have to stop them, and then we can start talking.
All right, Coach, if you're out there, is there any chance you come onside kick, opening kickoff, just to maybe shock things and stir it up? Or are you going to kick it deep?
I'm an old school guy. I'd kick it deep, but you know what? Why not, right?
Cold hands, people coming out here. Let it rip. I also think the wind picked up.
It is freezing.
Trying to find a wind screen here for the.
I know I'm going to hear it from the from any of the kids that I didn't call out. So I wish I would have had my 8th grade roster here. Vaughn Stiglitz, and trying to go down the list here. Aspinwall, Sisney, Vest, Mallerwine, Wojo, Rosenfeld, Soloria, Murphy. Yeah, good group of kids, man.
Well, we've had, as we're coming to that point in the fall season, I do not have an update. The girls' soccer team played at Madera today.
Oh.
Volleyball started their tournament run.
I saw that they got a big win.
They took on Finneytown, and they took them in 3 straight sets. And for the CHCA community, this is a short 3-day week with parent-teacher conferences and then a fall break, so there's a little bit of excitement in the air about that as well. All right, Eagles huddled up. Counting down inside a minute till we get going here. Eagles will be kicking.
So it looked like the girls' soccer team.
Yep, soccer team got beat today 4-1, but a good season for them. Got to the second round of the tournament.
Excellent.
They'll be ready to gear up for next year. All right, so the Eagles are going to be kicking from our left to the right. Going to be kicking into the wind. And it isn't that the wind is blowing that hard, it's just really cold.
It is ripping through my bones.
All right, Caleb Mary's teeing it up. All right, ball teed up, second half, ready to go. Eagles playing for their playoff lives right now. Caleb approaches, kicks end over end. He's going to kick that to about the 9-yard line. They're going to bring it up, turn it up the middle. There's a seam out to the 36-yard line, and a good return for the Tigers.
Yeah, great return for the Tigers. And now here's where we're going to find out, right? CHCA's defense, can we get a stop? We got to stop right before the half. I don't think Versailles was doing anything other than trying to run out that clock. So now we're going to see it full speed. Can we get a stop as they're going to go trips to the left?
All right, trips left, single right. Looks more like a spread offense, empty backfield. I think they threw 2 passes the first half. But they're going to start here empty. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get hit at the line, wrapped up, and they're going to call him down at the 40. So a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up second down and 6.
Second and 6, that's it's a pretty good start. They're trying to spread things out, get the Eagles to spread out and hit a seam, and the Eagles held there.
All right, again, they're going to go empty backfield. Trips right, single, trips left, single to the right again.
With the wing.
With the wing to the right. Quarterback's going to go to the right, and he's going to get dropped. Oh, they had him for a loss. Somehow he just kept churning forward, but he's only going to, actually he's going to lose a yard on the play. Great job by that Eagle defense. So here we go. Third, and we'll call it 7. Can they get a stop? First possession of the second half. Eagles crowd is coming to life. We have not put this Versailles team into passing downs.
No, we sure have not. Let's see if they do it here, if they're going to go off tackle or with a counter or a power here.
All right, play action. They're looking. They're going to throw, and the ball's incomplete. Eagles stop them on the first possession. So that's a nice start to a half.
That's a really good start, and now CHCA's offense has a chance to go down, try to get some points on the board. Again, we have seen it is high school sports, man. The weirdest stuff happens. You can see one half one way and the other half another, but it's a good start.
Come on, Eagles. Let's write a story right here. All right, there's the snap. Sakai almost gets to it, but a good punt. It's going to hit on a bounce. Eagles are going to let it sit, and it's going to die at the 24. But here comes that Eagle offense with a little bit of life, at least a little spring in their step.
It's got to give them some confidence. I mean, you just were getting grunged. You were getting your face punched in, and to get a stop, you get that sign of life. Let's see what this offense brings.
All right, so the Eagles are going to come out, 2 receivers to each side. Sawkill and Jostworth to the left, Sakai and Crosley to the right. Manny's going to be in the background. They're going to bring Jostworth in motion. And now they're going to toss it to Manny out of the backfield. Manny is going to pick up a couple of yards on that play. I don't know if I'd seen that play this year.
I hadn't either. It was trying to look at it through the camera when I didn't see what Colin looked really weird in his throwing stance. It looked like maybe it was a trick play, and all of a sudden the ball's out. I was trying to follow it. So
yeah, they put the receiver in motion from left to right, and then Manny filled the spot on the right. All right, now Colin's looking. Colin's got pressure. He steps out of it. There's a flag, though. He gets tripped up, falls forward, but I think they're going to bring that back for a hold. No, they're going to call a face mask. Well, that's going to help the Eagles here. All right, so face mask. That's going to move the ball.
5 yards.
5 yards. So that's going to bring up a second down and 2.
bringing in Mueller for Jostworth.
All right, they're going to leave Ian by himself to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Collins going to roll right. He's looking, throws to the sideline, but that's going to be out of play. And with as short of a sideline as they have, that's almost into the seats.
Yeah, interesting. You know, I didn't know if that was supposed to be a designed rollout or where Ames was supposed to be on that one. That looked like it sailed off. He didn't set his feet to throw it, and I didn't know if he was supposed to be on the run to throw it. That was a weird-looking play from Colin there.
All right, so here's a 3rd and 1. Big play here. Eagles need a first down. Keep this moving. Let's see if they put the ball in Manny's hands. If they're going to throw the ball. They are going to give it to Manny. Manny's going to fight. He's going to stretch out. That's going to be enough for the first down.
Yes, it is. Good job, Manny. Good run.
That was all tough running by Manny. Fights through. They've been platooning in and out, Mueller and Jostworth. All right, so now Eagles are going to look to the side. 1st and 10 at the 35. They're going to come to the line of scrimmage with trips right, single receiver left. Collins going to keep the ball himself this time, and he's going to get out to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, nice little run. Now that's kind of the little counter. You know, it's been an interesting execution from our guys. You know, I think Colin has had, he's not had his best game of the year tonight, throwing in the cold weather. Usually we're throwing the ball all over, but they've done a really good job moving the football on the ground tonight.
All right, play action to Manny. Oh, and that ball missed his receiver, Sakai. It was a little wide to the left. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, that's one of the big differences in high school football, man. Once you start getting the playoffs and you play, normally this is what week 8 or week 9 of the regular season. You can kind of get your cold weather game underneath you and kind of get some of that experience. It's tough when it's from a throwing team to have your first experience being in a cold weather.
Eagles got to reach the 45, dropping back. Collins under all kinds of pressure, now rolling to his left. He's going to run for it, and he's going to drill one of those defenders into the sideline. But he's going to be 5 yards short, actually maybe 6.
I think you go.
Yeah, Eagles are going to keep the offense on the field. They realize if you're going to be talking at all about writing a different story to the way this one ends, you're not going to be able to not convert on any series.
4th down and 6.
4th and 6, 2 receivers to each side. Now they're looking over for a play. Play action, looking, he's got a receiver open, he's got Jostworth to the 45, to the 40, and the Eagles move into Tiger territory with a first down.
I think that's Jostworth's first catch tonight. I think that might be only the second completion tonight. I think that Salkill had one earlier. I guess Manny had a couple.
He had a couple to Crosley.
Oh yeah. Okay, so a couple of them, but that's the first time we called Jostworth, and that's a name that we're going to need to get involved here in the second half.
All right, drops back. Colin looking. He's got good time. Now he's going to tuck the ball, and he's going to run. Runs through about 2 defenders. That's a tough kid, as we all know. He's going to take that down to the 35.
Yeah, this is going to have to be the Colin Ames second half, man. We're going to have to ride on his shoulders. He's going to have to deliver a football. He's going to have to run some tough yards, get some first downs, and it's a lot to put on a young man, but it's time.
Yep. All these guys need the half of their lives here if we're going to.
Yes, they do.
Turn this around, but Eagles are moving. All right, play action, Colin looking. That ball's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Again, he had Jostworth open on the slant, but that ball got knocked down.
Yeah, really good job by the Versailles defensive line. One of the things you're taught and you're coached to do is when you're rushing the quarterback, if you can't get to the quarterback, throw those hands up. Get your hands in the passing lanes, because every once in a blue moon, the ball finds it and knocks it right down to the ground.
We said those are some big kids on that defensive line. There's a fumbled snap, but Colin makes the most of it and he sidesteps a couple tacklers. He's going to maybe pick up a yard, but that could have been a disaster. Another 4th down. Let's call it 4th and 4 for the Eagles. Again, they need to get to the 30-yard line, I think, from this view. All right, 2 receivers to each side. Manny to the left. Now he's going to switch over to the right of Colin. Colin takes the snap, looking, throws the ball, scooped by McKeachum. If that's a catch, it is. He got his hands under the football and popped it up into his chest. What a play.
That was fortuitous. That was
tough catch.
Tough catch.
And it's good they don't have instant replay in high school to look at that one.
Let's just move on.
1st and 10. That's 2 4th down conversions on this drive. Here comes pressure. Colin gets wrapped up and dropped for a sack back at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, a couple of their big guys coming through.
All right. Eagles at the line, ready to go. Collins back and looking. Throws a fastball down the middle to McKeachum, who puts a nice move on. Spins for the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles, on a great throw and a great run by Crosley.
Well, I tell you what, Dean. The Eagles have come out and done what they needed to do. They got their stop. They got their score. You know, you feel the wrist, and there's a slight pulse. You know, weird things can happen. Now it's one play at a time. One play at a time.
All right, Colin Murphy in for the extra point. Wilkowski with the snap, Ian with the hole. Kick is up, kick is good. And the Eagles, with 4:51 left in the third, cut it to 28-7. Now, I know you can't start playing the what-if game, but right now, in my mind, I'm thinking when they were down to the 16, if they could have scored 28-14.
Oh, yeah.
Feels really good.
You know, you could do a lot of what-ifs in that first half. There was just nothing that went CHCA's way. They consistently just self-destructed, and also, again, Versailles is a good football team and took advantage of a lot of the advantages that they had in the first half, and you know, none of that matters, Dean. It is about, you know, you're
moving
down,
forward from now.
You're down 28-7. You're kicking the football off. Now the next important thing is to get a stop. Nothing else matters other than getting a stop. And so if you just kind of start chopping up a game in little bits and pieces, get a stop. That's the only thing that matters. Get a stop. And then worry about the next phase when you get there.
Caleb tees it up. All right, here's the approach. Kicks end over end. It's going to drop at the 15. He gets it on the run. Out to the 25, to the 30, to the 40, to the 45. And he's stopped there. Great kick return. That's what happens when you catch it on the run and you get that momentum, and he found a seam.
Yeah, that's, you know, where CHCA has really been a benefactor for the entire season is that they have owned starting field position with their special teams. They're usually forcing the other squad to start deep in their own territory, and it has been the total flip tonight.
All right, back to the line. All right, they're going to hand that ball off. There's running room out to the 50, cross the 50 down to the 45 in Eagles territory, and that'll be enough. Let's see where they spot it, just short of a first down. Call it 2nd down and 9.
2nd down and 1.
Or 1, sorry.
I knew where your head was, and I knew where your heart was, but you were still wrong.
Flipped it around. 2nd down and 1.
comes that
They're
counter.
going to hand that ball off. First down. Oh, taken down by his own guy right there. Dropped right at the 40. Actually, we'll call it the 39. Nope. They're going to put it on the 40. There's an Eagle down on the field.
Looks like May.
I think that's May. I think he's cramping.
Is it well, you hope it's a cramp.
You hope. Because
It
if
looks
he's
like
not,
it.
you're like, if there's a knee problem, I don't want two of his teammates pulling his leg. If it's not cramping, we got bigger issues.
They may not be doctors, but they stayed at the Holiday Inn Express last night.
I would say, Bryce Loddick all of a sudden was doing the Joe Lucas routine, and we don't want that.
Oh, that's.
I mean, Bryce can do a lot of stuff, but I don't want him checking knees.
No, and it's only kind of funny because it does look like it's a cramp.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Little heads up in the other game in this region. Roger Bacon is up 21-10 on Greenon. Tell you what, if the scores hold, I think a Versailles Roger Bacon game in the next round is going to be a banger. It's going to be a real good football game. Hopefully CHCA does some work where we can get a rematch, though, here in the second half.
I know these boys would like nothing more than to get another shot at Roger Bacon. But there's a lot of work to do between now and then. All right, so 1st and 10 at the 40. Gonna go. They're gonna hand the ball off to big number 36, and he's just gonna churn down the field. Picks up 5. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 at the 35.
I feel like we're playing a team like Alter right now, where they're just running downhill at you. You're going to need a turnover. You're going to need to stop them in the backfield. A team that likes to run the ball like this, you said it earlier, you want to keep them behind the chains, right? You want to get them in the 2nd and 3rd and long where they have to throw the football. Because if they're getting the 2nd and 5 and 3rd and 2, that's right with what they want to do.
All right, the quarterback's going to keep the ball here, and he's going to find a way around the corner, and he's going to get all the way down inside the 20. But there's a flag, so this could have been just what we were hoping for.
Yes, indeed, that little yellow hanky. And again, man, missed tackles are just killer. I mean, you get from a coaching perspective, you call the right defense. You got the end sealing off, and you got your guy unblocked, getting ready to take on a quarterback, and it's a missed tackle. And it's heartbreaking. So luckily, we got some holding on them.
Yeah. So just what we were talking about, from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and 15. So let's see if the Eagles defense can use that to take a stand here and get them in a throwing down. They're going to go now, trips left, single right, shotgun, the back to the left of the quarterback. He's going to drop straight. No, he's going to quarterback. Oh, the quarterback draw fails as they swallow him under for a loss of another 5.
Now this is where you want it to be. 3rd and 20. Now this is the money down. You're going to see CHCA doing the money sign. They call 3rd down the money down. That's where they want to be. Now you got to have your corners and safeties do your job. Get in your drops. Keep everything in front. Wrap up and tackle everything in front of you.
So 3rd and 20. They're at the 50. They have to get to the 30. Quarterback dropping back.
Screen.
Looking. They got a little wide receiver screen. Mueller is going to take him down at the 39-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th and 9.
If you're Versailles, do you just go for this here?
See what they're going to do.
I think Versailles just might go. That's the benefit of getting an 11-yard gain on 3rd and 20. Now that they're in, you're too far for a field goal, but punting only nets you about 19 yards if it goes in the end zone. So why not go?
All right.
Big stop for the defense here.
Trips left, single right. Big play for this defense. Looking across to the sideline for a play call. Eagles are all tight to the line of scrimmage. They put pressure on. Broken up by Sakai. What a play defensively. Gets his hand on that ball. And these Eagles don't look like it's over. They're ready to play some football.
We got a minute and a half left here in the third quarter, down 28-7, but now you stopped Versailles twice, and you now have a chance to go down. And Dean, a 28-14 game, a two-score game, now you're in a football game in the fourth quarter.
Chad, Eagles have stopped them the last, well, with the end of the half, you could say stopped them the last 4 possessions. This Eagles defense is holding. All right, back to the line. 2 receivers to each side for the Eagles. We're ready to go here on offense. 1:23 left in the third. See if the Eagles can come down and get a quick score here. All right, they're going to run the wide receiver screen to Josworth. He's out to the 45. He goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. They'll call it the 48. Good play on first down.
I almost said it right before that snap, Dean. I said we got to have some Josworth time right now. Number 22 has got to, we got to get the football to some of our playmakers. We got to get it to McKeachin, Southkill, Josworth, and Sakai. I mean, those 4 guys right there. That's you're gonna live and die here in the second half.
Second down and 1 for the Eagles at the 48. They're just gonna run a first down here, but now they're gonna throw a flag. I think they're going to call procedure on the Eagles. They weren't set. They went with the quick snap. That's the second time they've gotten that call today. Coach Woods is asking the official about it. They're going to back it up. So second down and 6. That's going to push it back to the 44.
Bummer.
All right. Eagles back over the ball at the 43. And they're going to hand the ball to Manny. Manny's going to sprint to the corner. Manny gets the corner and more. Manny out to the 50, past the 50. Manny's going to take this for a first down, but I thought I saw a flag.
You did, and there's a hold on the Eagles. So that's going to push us back probably another, 4 yards from the last line of scrimmage, and it's going to be second and 10 after second and 1, just a few seconds ago actually. All right, so the offense, we've got to move the ball, we got to get a score. That's the next thing that matters.
That's right. We're under a minute now in the third quarter. Second down and 10 from the 29. There's a high snap, but Collin fields it. He's going to run that Josworth screen again, and Josworth takes a hit. And now it's going to be about 3rd and 3. We'll get one more playoff here before the start of the fourth quarter. It's been a lot of action to basically get back to where we were. Back-to-back penalties for the Eagles. All right, 2 receivers at each side. Collins going to try to take a quarterback sneak, and he maybe gets a yard. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and we'll call it a long 2. And so the Eagles have their work cut out for them as we go to this fourth quarter.
Last quarter of football for some seniors, either with Versailles or CHCA. CHCA has some work to do, down 3 scores, 28-7 here as we go to the fourth quarter. And Dean, the third quarter, that was Eagles football. That's what I think all these guys who made this trip up here were hoping to see. And man, I want to see that group play another. I want to see this group play. I am not emotionally ready to say goodbye to these seniors. So I'm hoping for a big fourth quarter.
Yep.
These guys have been so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I kind of wish that third quarter was the first quarter.
Yeah, no kidding. But I do love to see coming out of that locker room and playing with some passion and some fire and a little giddy up.
Again, the Eagles defense and offense have made key adjustments here, and they have been able to stop this Versailles offense, and their own offense is moving the football. So a couple penalties here on this last series has put them into another 4th down position. But Again, we got a couple fourth down conversions on that last scoring drive. Let's get another one right here.
Got another update. It's Roger Bacon 28, Green on 10. So the winner of this game is looking like they're going to play Bacon. But here's a big fourth down for the Eagles.
All right, Eagles. Collins looking. He's got an open receiver, and it's off to the races. To the 20, to the 10, tripped up. And Keegan Mueller is at the 5-yard line. What a start to the fourth.
That was a big play. A little pop pass. And if anybody was here watching the Penn State-Indiana game early, Sean Clifford threw that little pop pass to Freiermuth in a very similar way near the end zone. It was just a great dial-up here on a fourth down and short.
All right, Eagles right to the line of scrimmage. Collin takes the snap. He's going to keep the football. He's going to try to plow ahead, but not a lot happening right there. Maybe gets a yard. Yeah, he's going to take it from the 6 to the 5, so it's going to be second down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Gotta put the ball in the end zone. You gotta get the ball in the end zone.
And the quicker the better.
You know, quick doesn't matter because there's only 5 yards. Just get it in.
All right, pump fake. Collin rolling to his left, looking, throws the ball up over the top of Josworth. That's a tall kid with some hops, but not that much.
Not that tall. Apologize. I bit on the pump fake the first time, so
you just got Wachowski'd.
Yeah, that's really hard to see in this camera. Exactly what's happening, man.
All right, third down and 5. Eagles looking to cut it to a 2-score game. You get it to 2 scores, anything's possible with a quarter of football.
Anything is possible.
All right, Collin's going to roll to his right, and he's going to jump. Touchdown! Collin keeps it, and just like that, the Eagles with an extra point could cut it to a 2-score game. 28-13, 11 minutes left in the ball game.
I said, weird things happen in high school sports, man.
All right, Colin Murphy out for the extra point. Sawkill with the hold. Oh, blocked.
He didn't get that one.
Didn't get that one high enough.
No, that one was right into the line. That one didn't really have a shot. So
and Adam Bowers hopping along. I don't know if he twisted an ankle, if he got stepped on. But so that's going to mean a 2-point conversion at some point. 28-13. Eagles to kick off. But there's life on this sideline, Chad.
There is. You know, this reminds me a little of the West Jefferson game a couple years ago, where CHCA went down. I think they were down 2 scores 3 or 4 separate times before coming back to win that game. But the CHCA sideline was dead. That whole first half, as we kept falling behind 14-0, 21-7, 28-14. We were dead the whole first half, and then the second half, something came alive, and that's when the Cole Fisher and Juju connection with Bernard and all those young men, they came back and ready to play and won that game against West Jefferson in a thrilling finish. So here's to hoping something similar for the Eagles tonight, down 28-13, 11 minutes left. Weird stuff, man.
I remember that one as we were driving home after, because there was the beat CHCA in the fence with the cups, and we stopped and took a picture of it on the way back home. All right. Eagles with the onside kick. Oh, they're going to say they weren't ready.
They're going to say offsides.
It was recovered by Versailles.
So they're going to actually have another shot.
But they're going to have another shot.
The whistle blows on an offsides on the kickoff. And a lot of that is because if there's an offside, they don't want to have 2 kickoffs.
And they're changing to the hands team. Let's see if the Eagles now
it used to be where,
kick it deeper.
Where on offsides, you would do the kickoff, but because that's one of the plays you want to take out for the safety of the game, if there's an offsides on a kickoff, you just stop it immediately, which is why a whistle blew.
All right, 10 guys are up tight. Let's see if instead they pooch it over that line and race for the football. Let's see what they do here. They're ready for the onside kick, but let's see if the Eagles switch it up. Now they're going to drop a guy back. And the Eagles are going to boot it. And that ball's going to bounce, going to be fielded at the 10. And he's got a seam up the middle to the 40. Look out to the 50. Oh, and I think it was actually Caleb Mary makes his first tackle of the year. So he drills him into the sideline, but not till they got into Eagles territory. Now it'll be 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. I'm going to call it 43.
That didn't go the way we wanted it to.
No, but it's about the same as if you didn't get the onside kick.
That's true.
So again, it's up for the Eagles. If you're going to win a ball game, you got to have defensive stops. Doesn't matter where on the field.
That's correct.
So let's see if the Eagles can stop them here. All right, they're going to run the ball straight up the middle, and that was Vanderhaar and I think Rabun on the tackle there, but not before a nice first down gain of about 5.
Kudos to these defensive front, man. This is man's ball. This is a man's football game where you're going to have to stop in the trenches. They've been battling and warring it all night, and the fact that they're not wearing out and they're getting stronger as the game goes on, getting worn out like that, kudos to those young men.
All right, 2nd down and 5 at the Eagle 38. Quarterback's going to keep the ball. He's going to go up the middle, and he's got running room. It's a race to the end zone. Touchdown, Versailles. And that was tough.
Little quarterback counter, buddy, and they just put it right on there. Good execution for Versailles. And they sealed up the inside, and away we go. So a very, very hard task just became exponentially so.
All right, so Versailles ready for the extra point. Kick is good.
Yep.
So that makes it 30.
Should be 35 to 13, although the score
35 to 13. Eagles keyed on that back, but the counter with the quarterback.
Oh, man.
And it was like the sea parted. And then it was just off to the races.
I mean, you had 3 straight defensive stops, so it's not a matter of not knowing what they were doing. I think Versailles just got a seal block on the inside. Their quarterback hit the seam and off to the races. So good execution for Versailles. And I tell you what, I said those boys have been battling all night. That defensive front, man, I tell you, they've been working their tails off. That's that's what happens though. You get pounded. It's like a boxing match. You get hit in the body a couple times, and all of a sudden it takes all of the wind from you. All right, now the offense has to do some work here with 10 minutes left.
All right, 10 minutes. Kick deep. McKeecham's going to bobble that ball, but picks it up. It's going to come straight up field to the 20. Leaps over a guy, is out of bounds at about the 23. Eagles will start there.
Touchy on the camera.
Chad, you're doing it all tonight.
Man,
cameraman, color commentary.
It is much harder to do both things when you can't,
And from a rough location, because we're in the crowd. You're going to have to shoot around fans and obstacles. All right, Eagles come to the line, 23-yard line. Collin throws low and outside. Misses McKeechan on the slant.
just a tick off. Just a tick.
If you haven't been involved in Eagles sports except for football this year, you might not realize that Colin is a very hot prospect on the mound. He is one of the best pitchers in the state of Ohio. So you saw a bit of the fastball right there. He's looking, he's throwing out, and he's hoping for a pass interference call to Sakai, but he really wasn't obstructed that badly. But that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Eagles need to convert here.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. This is it. This is these next two, converting. This offensive series, obviously, when you have less than 10 minutes to go in a game and you're down by 3 touchdowns, every play is precious. Every possession is what you need to win. Every possession from here.
Rolling to his right, looking. Oh, through to empty space, but Josworth stopped.
That looked like Josworth should have been running all the way through, but it wouldn't have mattered. There's a holding call on the back end, and they're going to most likely decline that, or are they going to go? Or are they going to make it 4th down and 10? 3rd and 20 or 4th and 10? What do you want to do, Coach? They're going to decline it and make it 4th and 10.
All right, down 3 scores. Eagles got to convert here. 4th down and 10. They're at their own 23. They've been going on 4th downs really since their last possession of the first half, and with really good success. Now I think timeout Eagles. They're going to talk about this.
Our own Joe Vanderkolk giving us updates on the Roger Bacon Greenon game, and Bacon is up 34-16, which is a very similar score to what we find ourselves here, a 35-13 Versailles lead. So right now Bacon and Versailles are in the driver's seat to match up next week, and let's see if CHCA can, again, I said that earlier, turn that around, and they sure almost got themselves right back in this game. Proud of the effort in the second half, man. There's a lot of times on a cold night when you see the dreams that you've worked so hard for start slipping through your fingers. It's so easy to hang your head and kind of, just go through the motions. And boy, the Eagles sure have not done that tonight. They have come out firing here in the second half, and one big play for Versailles kind of took some wind out of the Eagles' sails, and now we have a 4th and 9 to keep possession and put some pressure on the Tigers. We've got to convert here. Huge play for Ames and the boys.
All right, trips right. Ian by himself on the left. Ames drops back. He's got some time now. He's got pressure. He's rolling left. Throws down the field. Throws it up for Ian. Contact. There's a flag. 1st down. The drive's going to continue. Despite some boos from the opposite side, it was a good call. Ian had position and was pushed in the back while the ball was still in the air. Right in front of us, literally about 20 yards away. So we had a good
camera got it.
Well, I had a good view of it.
It's a hard mix trying to zoom in to get kind of what's happening in the interior, but then if it comes out, you'll lose some of the.
People from the street thought it was horrible, but a pretty good call.
I was going to say, not a popular call here with the locals.
All right, they're going to hand the ball to Manny. Not much going there. Tough sledding. The Tiger comes out with the football, but he was called down.
9 minutes and 10 seconds and clock ticking here. 35-13 Versailles CHCA. Probably got to get some giddy up in that offense.
All right, Colin drops back. looking. He's going to throw this one up to Ian. Ian lays out, but just out of his reach. Great effort by Ian, but he just overthrew him.
Little bit, just a touch overthrown.
There's a whistle on the field. Let's see what's happening here. The officials are going to counsel in the middle. I don't see a flag. I don't know what they're talking about here. Our officials are meeting in the middle of the field. The fourth official's coming over. I don't know, maybe the clock didn't start. It's 3rd and 9. It was an incomplete pass. I don't know what the confusion's about.
Nor I.
Yeah, I don't know what happened right there. It's still 3rd and 9. I see no adjustment made to the clock. I don't know what happened.
Nor do I. That's weird.
They had something to say to the Tigers coach. Maybe he was calling for an instant replay on that pass interference call. All right. Eagles are going to go 2 receivers to each side. They got Brady in the backfield. A lot of pressure. And there's going to be a roughing the passer call on that play, which is going to keep that drive alive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Interesting.
He came out with that pass before Crosley made his break, but
He did, and that's because he was under tremendous pressure, but he got rid of the ball, and then the number 77, their big dude, took about 2 steps, which is 1 more than you're allowed to take before you plant the quarterback into the ground. So it honestly was a good call. You got to protect the quarterback, and he had enough time to kind of hold up and chose not to, and that, son, is a personal foul.
All right, so the Eagles now at the Versailles 46. Got Brady Hunt in the backfield. They're going to run the little receiver screen to Josworth, and Josworth gets knocked out of bounds, but they're going to call his forward momentum was inbound, so they're going to pick up a couple yards on that play.
2 yards, and the clock's moving. We got to, you want to keep moving, you want to score, but now if you want, you got to kind of keep an eye on that clock. You only have 2 timeouts. You got to start moving if you win the possession.
All right, Colin drops back. He pumps there. He's got Ian over the middle, but he overthrows him, almost intercepted again. That ball, he had his receiver, but it just sailed on him.
Had him. Oh, that's...
All right, that's going to bring up 3rd and 8. If you're following the World Series in the 3rd inning, Dodgers up 2-0. But here, Eagles down 3 scores and a 2-point conversion. They need to get on the board here quickly. 8:05 left in the ball game. Collins dropping back, looks, he's got a receiver. That time, it's McKeachum. It's a race to the end zone, and they are not going to catch him. Touchdown for the Eagles. 44-yard strike, and they're going to go for 2.
Good job by Colin Ames. Again, it's been a tough night, but he keeps pushing on. He keeps grinding through. He's not having his most accurate evening, but he put that one right on a dime. And McKeachum broke it off to score, and don't look now, but it's 35-19. Eagles are going to put the ball on the right hash mark. When you go for 2, you have the choice to choose where you want it on the field in between the hashes, because it's a free play.
You got people.
No, there's people in the way.
See if you can lift the... All right, so the Eagles are going to come to the line. They're going to go trips left to the wide side, single receiver right. He's looking, throws behind his receiver. That's going to drop incomplete. That was to Josworth. So it's going to be 35-19.
You're still at 2 possessions.
Still 2 possessions.
But you know what?
2 possessions and 2 2-point conversions.
Yeah, you are going to have to get a 2-point conversion, so why not get it? The math tells you to try early because then that gives you what you need to do. Because if you're going to have to get one, try to get it there. Otherwise, now you're going to have to get one twice. But that's a good call from the sabermetrics on the football side of things. Now, last time we saw the Versailles offense, they ripped off a long touchdown run. The defense has been tired. We got some guys that play on the line both ways. This is, again, this is where it's man's game. We're going to have to try to stop them. That's the whole goal. We've won the last couple possessions other than the last Versailles offense. We're going to have to win the possession, and it looks like they are going to go with the onside here.
All right, Eagles get the high bounce. Oh, and here he's off to the races, but they catch him from behind. That's about the... Yeah, there's so much chance in an onside kick.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that can happen is it pops up and he hits it on a dead run, and that's what happened. So Eagles defense is going to have to do its job here.
Well, you said it on the last possession. We're going to have to stop them, so it doesn't matter where it is on the field, right? It doesn't matter if it's deep in their own territory or if it's in the Eagle territory. We're going to have to get 2 stops. So, win the possession. Win the possession.
Win the possession. Here we go.
Boy,
They're going to run the football.
I'm proud of these boys the second half. What a great showing.
All right, they're going to hand this ball off. He's going to try to go around the right side. He cuts back in, and he's going to go down at the 30. That's going to be a gain of about 5.
Broken tackles, just you lose sleep over it. That is disappointing. But keep the head up, gain of 6. Gotta stop him.
And for what it's worth, it's not just in your head. It's now down to 39. Feels like 36.
feels every bit of it.
All right, back to the line. Single receiver each side, but they're going to keep this ball on the ground. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. And they wrap him up, but he falls forward, and that should be enough for a first down.
It most certainly is, and now it's a matter, now they're getting into field goal range. They have shown that they have a decent kicker from the extra points. It is do or die on the defensive side. Versailles, excellent running game. They're well coached. They do a great job. Tip of the cap to them for their offensive game plan tonight. Boy, the Eagles are going to have to gut out a stop right here.
All right, they're going to go with quite the full house backfield. Quarterback under center, and he's going to just keep the ball and plow forward. They're going to turn it into a scrum, and that's going to pick up probably about another 5 yards.
That's where you're going to need your defensive tackles. When you see that coming, just start bear crawling into the legs of the lineman and into the legs of the runner, because then he falls forward and the max you can get is 2 yards as opposed to standing up and getting grunged back for 5.
We're going to go the same formation, that full house backfield under center. This time they're going to hand it to number 15, and again they wrap him up and drive him backwards, so he's going to pick up a couple yards. See what they call it.
They're going for that football.
It's going to maybe 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3.
You're going to have 2 down, 1 down to make a stop, and then you're going to make Versailles decide. Are they going to go for a kick a field goal to make it 3 scores, or are they going to try to end it by getting a first down?
We're down to 5:20 and counting. Again, another aspect of this run game, right? It's been chewing up clock. Quarterback under center. And it dropped for a loss. A great defensive play by these Eagles. That was Rabun and Flagel. Flagel had him by the legs. Rabun finished him off.
I got to tell you, Daniel Flagel has been one of the best success stories from his freshman year, from his 7th grade year really, to his senior year. I know I've said it before, but it has been so much fun watching this young man develop into an absolutely wonderful high school football player. It has been awesome watching 33 out there. I hope this isn't the last few minutes we get to do it. I'm hoping for some big stuff coming and a weird ending here for the Eagles and for the against the Tigers. But if this is it, Daniel Flegel has been, a senior spotlight. Just what a wonderful, wonderful season and wonderful career he's had at CHCA.
So it's going to be 4th and 7, ball at the 22. Let's see what Versailles is going to do here. Again, we've mentioned they got a good-looking kicker. Whether they make it a 3-score game with a field goal. Nope, looks like they're going to come out and run offense. Going to go 2 receivers right, single receiver left. Quarterback's going to hand the ball off. They're going to run a reverse. Eagles look to have it covered, and
got him.
Brady Hunt takes out his legs, and that's going to end that possession. And again, the Eagles stop them on downs.
So we are looking at 4 minutes and 54 seconds, down 16, getting the football back. CHCA has 1 timeout remaining, so while it is not where you would choose to be after where we were at halftime, I'm thrilled to be here.
Yep.
Let's do this. You won that possession, now you win this one. Win each possession.
All right. Eagles take it over at the 21. He's got Ian Sawkill, throws behind him. He tries to make a juggling catch, but cannot. And Ian's shaken up on the ground. He had Ian cutting across the field, but he threw back behind him.
He throws that right in front of him, he's still running. Wow, what a bummer. And I don't know if Ian fell weird because the ball was juggled, so he reached back. I don't know, maybe if he fell weird on that
arm. Or if the guy fell and kneeled in his chest. I couldn't tell from how he hit.
I hope that's a wind knocked out of him as opposed to anything else.
Yeah, Ian's one of those guys who's going to be playing next fall someplace. I know there's been a lot of places talking to him. I know he's going to be checking some schools out over fall break. I think he's heading to Ithaca. He's had a bunch of schools in the Northeast. I know Wheaton College has shown him interest, so they're still looking at him, but they seem to be looking in his midsection. Arms are both pulled back, so I think he's...
Yeah, I think it's that's a weird place to be looking, the way that play broke. I didn't see...
Yeah, I don't know if when that guy... Because a guy went for the ball and leaned across him. I don't know if a guy came on his ribs. But he's slow to get up. They sat him up, but he's getting up very gingerly. At this point, we want all our weapons on the field.
We sure do.
He's moving very gingerly.
But he's off.
Oh, they are actually holding an arm. No, but he grabbed his... He did look like he was grabbing his right rib cage.
Yeah, hopefully for his sake, he is going to be okay. 2nd down and 10 here for the Eagles.
All right, Colin drops back. He's looking. He's going to throw this one deep. He's got Josworth open. Caught it down the sideline. He puts a move to the 40. It's hit from behind, but he holds on to the football all the way down to the 33. That's a big play. 4:40. Clock stops.
I wish Versailles would have seen the full might of CHCA this whole game. We're going to look back at this one and...
All right, clock waiting on the chains. So Eagles set up. Now they start the clock, 4:36. Colin drops back, pressure, throwing, overthrows Sakai. He was under tight coverage. I don't know if you got to fit a ball in there anyway. right, 4:29. Eagles are at the 32, second down and 10.
I think this game, from a perspective of Versailles, went from a, hey, let's enjoy the second half, to I think we're getting a little bit of tightening over there on that sideline, and this is not where they expected this game to be right now.
All right, Manny helps pick up the blitz, got a receiver. Oh! High through the hands of Bauer. Had him open. Ball just sailed a little bit. All right, now 3rd and 10. Again, if the Eagles score here, you don't even have to kick an onside kick.
You don't. If we score in the next minute and a half, you have 3 minutes. You can still. Now you have to have the 2-point conversion.
You need a 2-point conversion, correct.
But
if you score,
you can boot it.
All right, big 3rd down and 10. You don't want to be 4th and 10. All right, Colin drops back. Again, Manny picks up the blitz. Steps into it, popped up in the air, almost intercepted. Ooh. It was looking for Bauer, but that was into coverage.
A lot of coverage.
There were 2 guys could have picked that one off.
You know what, though? That's what Colin's been looking at here for the last few series, is he's just going back and there's just dropping the world. So he's trying to fit things in small spaces. So, at this point, you got to make a play. You gotta just go. You have your athletes. Be the athletes.
All right, Colin drops back. He rolls out for some time, looking, floats it to Josworth. Oh, but dropped. He put that one in the one place it could be, but Josworth couldn't pull it in.
That is he's going to think about that. That's a disappointment. That's a tough catch to make. That's a hard catch to make, so that's certainly not one that you say should be made. That's a tough catch. Good throw. Now it becomes a little hard. Now you got to get a 3 and out and score quickly and get an onside kick. It's not over yet.
See if we can get a strip here.
Yeah, we get a turnover, something weird happens, but boy, CHCA has done their very level best to crawl back into this thing. But boy, the Versailles is about to take the air out of this ball.
All right, look like movement on the offense, so back them up. That helps. Eagles need something really big out of their defense here. Their defense has been playing really well this second half, but a turnover here is imperative.
They've turned the ball over. We've turned the ball over twice. I don't think they've turned the ball over.
Nope. This will be a good time for it. All right, clock stop, 4:10. It's at the 28-yard line, 1st and 15. All right, high snap, fumble, ball's loose on the ground.
Oh, looks like Versailles jumped on it. Oh my goodness, that was
we called it.
That was what we needed.
All right, clock running. That was the chance.
Boy.
Fumbled snap. All right, 2nd down and 15. Let's get this ball back, one way or the other. Versailles is taking wisely every second of this snap count. It's down to 4. All right, they're going to hand this ball off. The Eagles shut it down nicely. That's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They have not called that holding on the edge, on that edge all night. The end has been getting held like it was his job, and all night they haven't called it. It has been extremely frustrating.
But at this point, the stop and the down helps us even more.
That's correct. But I just want him to not hold so we can make the tackle at the point.
Yeah. All right, clock's at 2:48 and counting. I'm going to have to run this play at about 2:35. It's 3rd and 17. big play here. Might put it in the air. They do. They drop back. No, the quarterback's going to take it himself. He's got some running room. Oh, and he breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races into Eagle territory all the way down to the 44, and that's the backbreaker. Eagles had a chance at him, but he sidestepped a tackle.
Broken tackles, Dean. It keeps you up at night. It just breaks your heart. What a tremendous effort the second half, and that's going to Katie bar the door. Short of a miracle, down 16 with 2.5 minutes left. That's going to do it. But I'm really proud of the effort these Eagles have put in the second half.
Yeah, they won the half, Chad. They won the half.
You know, it's so frustrating. They're going to look back at that first half and be like, "What in the heck happened? What in the heck?" It was as bad a first half as you can think of, but boy, the Eagles have played well in the second half.
All right, they're going to run straight up the middle. Going to run that ball down to the 35. Eagles are going to call
their last
timeout with 1:48 left.
You know what? You know, Dean, at this point, we got less than 2 minutes to go, down 16. I want to just...
Yeah, tell us about our seniors.
I'm just going to talk about these seniors. You know, you got Brady Hunt, who's been absolutely fantastic as a running back and defensive back. Crosley McKeechin, what a wonderful football player that young man is. You have Nathan Schramm coming back after a year or two off of playing football for his senior year. Adam Bauer has just been a great football player. Senior Colin Murphy, the kicker. We got Jacob Herman, who's done, played such great special teams and has done such a wonderful job. He's one of my kids that I've coached since the 7th grade. Caleb Mary, what a great addition to this team. Really, him and, you look at the two kickers, Colin Murphy and Caleb Mary, what a big difference that made a lot of the time this year. Ian Salkill, who we saw last series get banged up, but golly, watching him catch the football for 4 years has been fun.
Right back to the line. They got all the big boys in. Eagles looking to try to strip a football. It's the only shot you got right here. Gonna hand the ball off.
That might be enough for a first down, maybe? I can't tell with...
They just signaled first down.
That's a first down. That's going to be your football gain, Dean. So, Manny Tate's been so much fun to watch. It's been a lot of fun watching him play. You got Garrett Jostworth, he's been a big play guy for 2 to 3 years, man. Garrett Jostworth, what a lot of fun watching him play. Daniel Flagel, also just one of the best football players I've seen grow up from his freshman year to his senior year. It looks like I forgot Micah Smith, number 21. Keegan Mueller, what the engine of the defense, the engine of the team, the emotional center since his sophomore year, man. I tell you, Keegan Mueller's been so much fun. And wore number 45 proudly. That's the number I wore here, so I always kind of get a little pride watching him run around like a crazy person. Max Vonderhaar. Then you got the Justin and Andrew Vest, the twins. They've just been such a big part of the line on both sides of the ball for so many years. I've loved coaching the Vests and watching them play. Eric Parker, what a big name on the defensive side of the ball and offensive side of the ball, but primarily a DN, starting as a sophomore. And then you got, Jeff May. So shout out to those seniors who have played their last game as a CHCA football player. Welcome to the fraternity and the brotherhood of the CHCA football alumni, guys. And thank you for all of your efforts and hard work, and congratulations to the 2020 CHCA football team. It's been a great year. It is a 35-19 final, and I tell you, it has been a valiant second half effort, Dean. The first half was about as poorly as a half could go, but boy, they rallied in that second half, and that's the way CHCA football is supposed to be played. We needed about one more quarter to make this thing happen. But I'm proud of the boys. Coach Woods should be proud of his first season, and it's always disappointing.
Yep. Every
love
last
them for
game
it.
when you don't win it all is always a hard last game. But we've talked about this class for a long time. Class of 2021. Great athletes on this team. We're going to see some of them in basketball season. We'll see some spring sports. But sad to see this football season end. But they've given us some great memories. Not just this year, but for some of these guys, we've been watching since the 3rd grade.
That's true.
So it's sad to see this one end, but proud of them, thankful for them. Some great gentlemen out there, leaders in this school, and they'll continue to be, as you said, part of this football fraternity. Now as alumni, who knows, maybe one day we'll have some of these guys in on the broadcast, some of our announcers, just like you and Joey. So, hey, we loved bringing you guys games all year long. Hope you've loved our new venue. Be able to not just listen to us, but see the action. It's been great hearing from all of you. Glad that you've been able to be with us this year. It's been a great season, and the tradition continues. Eagle playoff football. As the tradition continues, it's what we expect. It's a great team, and we know great things are in the future.
Absolutely, Dean.
So, Chad, as always, it's a pleasure doing these games with you. And before you know it, we'll be out here doing them again.
I cannot wait.
All right. Well, everyone signing off. Have a great evening, a great fall break coming up, and we'll be back bringing you other Eagle sports as the year goes on. Have a great night, everybody.